greet you with the traditional greeting of the Muslims all over the world of Salaam Alaikum. There is peace be upon all of you. That's a good start. It's a time on earth, Adam himself, when his time was spent on the earth, he needed company. For his company, his rib was used, his own ribs. No other. This is a very important message you receive from the Creator himself, Creator of heaven and earth. And for this purpose, the firm belief is marrying that is going to take place throughout the world is going to be an awful situation. At that time, he built a boat and got pairs of all kinds of animals and human beings on board. And you majority of the today here, or perhaps all of you, firmly feel that the basis of the happy society is the family. If you want to put this system right, which is the whole country suffering quite a lot, our next generation being totally destroyed as a result, as a consequence of this breakup. Introduction by my parents, my brothers and sisters, and I'm living.
Please welcome Bishop James Lowry.
From my 2 years of studies, I've just narrowed up the entire system that we live in and with God. God illustrates the unity of the family, which we are talking about today. God also illustrates humanity and government. God illustrates Israel. And God also illustrates the church, which I represent. God the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, according to the Christian religion. Through the family, God also illustrates the relationship that links up the tree. And through the family, God sought out to bring proper relationship among human beings.
Respected dignitaries, brothers and sisters, to foster relationships, human beings seek three basic requirements: trust, assurance, and progress. Family is formed to gain assurance. It is a unit where people can trust each other and share their views and problems. As you know, problems shared are problems halved. It is required for an individual to get married and live in a family. However, where people live in a family, living with peace and joy is a precondition.
Okay, as one of the trustees of UBF, but also I'm a pastor within the Family Federation, and that represents more the core of our families and the unificationist tradition, and that's where you'll see. I meet people and introduce myself as a unificationist. If they don't know very much about this movement, often they say, are you the people with the mass wage society, the well-working society, and even we can say world peace. When I was in such a blessing ceremony, as we call them, myself, the kind of title of that was World Peace Through Ideal Families. And I say, yeah, that's right. And then very often they say, what's that all about? What's that all about? Anyway, I thought I'd that I'm sure you can catch from your own experiences. Here's another one. It's quite a hot day today, everybody's sweating today. And I thought I'd show you something which perhaps will be new to most people, and that is when somebody arrives like this at one of these wedding ceremonies, do they just arrive families and prepare people for marriage and give help to those who are already married? Emphasizing very clearly purity before marriage and fidelity in marriage.
He is Secretary of the UK Friends of Alexandra Lamprey and Secretary of Hammersmith and Fulham Local Agenda 21 Forum. David joined UNA in 1977 and served as UNA Malimo Committee since 1980, and he was Chairman of the London and South East region it's 4097.
You're going to speak later than you thought is like being upgraded. A bit more time to think what I'm going to talk about. But closed. That's the important thing. And many of our mosques follow different fields. Everyone tried to set up. But family, as has been mentioned by the lawyer at the question session before, is it can be extended family, half your family's points. And people talked about rights. Should we add to that? And this park out here, I sat on my tricycle and upset my mother at the speed I would go down. And your congratulations. We do form different types of families, and what the UN tried to do at that time is the issue. It's like this. It's the people who make the United Nations, who make it work, who make it fair. And so much of the work of the UN and the Secretary General and people working, a chemist, he said, natural society is like a centrifuge. The natural state is we're flinging ourselves apart. And it's forces like the UN and like the family, which has been so correctly put forward by good speakers, the family which brings us back together again, keeps us in touch with each other, reminds me that that's where my grandma was married. But there's been no greater explosion than the number of faith groups, the number of churches, the number of different mosques who follow different fields, and certainly in the Jewish religion, more than you might imagine for a small faith. So, in the United Nations, we have waited a long time for faith groups to say where they stand. I challenge all of you to go into the websites of any faith group you might like and to see what it says on the rights of the child, the rights of women, the rights of torture, and so on, and so on. They say nothing. And I think we should. And sometimes we've challenged them and said, look, okay, 5 great declarations, human rights, women, children, whatever. Just come out with what you say. I don't mind whether you're for them or against them, but say something. Put it on your website.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do next year. It's the Reconciliation of Cultures Year. It's a nice flabby title, isn't it? But I think within the UPF and other organisations, we can give it a go and to say, come on, let's see whether we can come up with common views on certain international conventions. And I challenge the churches and all faith groups to do that. So, in summary, people together. So, thanks for making me last. I've really enjoyed keeping you away from your biscuits. And I've enjoyed listening to our wonderful speaker, Sally Rowe. Thank you.
If you would like to do the honours of greeting. Charitable work, particularly around the Islamic finance and Islamic community, and particularly supporting.
I'm very camera shy, so this is a little bit frightening.
Time, he built a boat and
I think we should. And sometimes we've challenged them and said, look, okay, 5 great declarations, human rights, women, children, whatever. Just come out with what you say. I don't mind whether you're for them or against them, but say something. Put it on your website.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do next year. It's the Reconciliation of Cultures Year. It's a nice flabby title, isn't it? But I think within the UPF and other organisations, we can give it a go and just say,
So he's been responsible for promoting the Muslim, the world's most popular online Muslim community. Okay. Okay, good.
Okay, thank you.